Before the earth bore kings and men knew the name of gods, they came. The Anunnaki, shining as the sun and darker than the void, carved destinies from the clay of our world. In the cradle of civilization, amidst the fertile plains of Mesopotamia, the Sumerians whispered of the Anunnaki, celestial beings who descended from the heavens to shape the world. Their name, meaning those who came from above, echoes with both reverence and terror. The ancient texts paint them as architects of humanity, divine overlords who bestowed wisdom and order but demanded servitude in return. They were not mere gods to be worshipped, they were rulers, taskmasters, and manipulators, wielding power incomprehensible to mortals. The Enuma Elish, a Babylonian creation epic rooted in Sumerian myth, describes the Anunnaki as descending from the celestial realms to establish dominion over Earth. They divided the heavens, seas, and land, declaring themselves lords of creation. Yet their motivations were not purely benevolent. They sought labor, obedience, and a vessel through which their will could manifest. This was the origin of humankind. According to Sumerian accounts, the Anunnaki grew weary of their own toil. They tasked the lesser gods, the Igigi, with mining the earth's resources and tending to their needs. But the Igigi, oppressed and exhausted, revolted against their celestial masters. Faced with rebellion, the Anunnaki devised a chilling solution. They would create a new race, a servile species fashioned from the clay of the earth and infused with their divine essence. From this act of creation arose Adamu, the first human. The tale is preserved in the Atrahasis epic, which recounts how Enki, the trickster god of wisdom, and Ninhursag, the mother goddess, mixed the blood of a slain god with the clay of the earth to mold mankind. Humans were gifted the strength to work and the capacity for knowledge, yet they were cursed with mortality, a stark reminder of their station beneath their creators. The parallels to the Genesis narrative are haunting. Adam, too, was formed from dust, breathed into life by divine will, and bound to toil the earth. Is this coincidence, or a fragmented memory of a shared origin? If the Anunnaki shaped humanity, it was not out of kindness but necessity. We were born as tools, bound to serve their celestial designs. The Anunnaki, despite their formidable power, were not omnipotent. They relied on humanity not only for labor, but for worship, which fed their strength and secured their rule. To ensure humanity's loyalty, they bestowed upon them the gifts of civilization, the art of writing, agriculture, architecture, and law. It was they who inspired the great ziggurats, towering monuments to their glory, where mortals offered sacrifices in trembling devotion. These gifts, however, came at a price. The Anunnaki demanded absolute obedience, and their wrath was swift upon those who defied them. In the Epic of Gilgamesh, King Gilgamesh, a demigod and product of divine human union, sought immortality to escape the Anunnaki's decree of death for mankind. His failure underscores a chilling truth: humanity was never meant to share in the divine. Our lives were destined to serve their needs and feed their ambitions. As humanity multiplied and grew unruly, the Anunnaki became displeased. The Atrahasis epic tells of their decision to cleanse the earth with a great flood, a story mirrored in the biblical tale of Noah and the Hindu story of Manu. Enki, ever defiant of his brethren, warned Atrahasis, a pious man, to build an ark and preserve life. The flood swept away the disobedient, leaving behind only those deemed worthy or useful. The flood narrative raises unsettling questions about the Anunnaki's role as creators. Were they benevolent gods seeking to purify the world, or ruthless overlords erasing the errors of their own experiment? The texts suggest the latter, portraying a cold, calculating hierarchy intent on maintaining their dominance. Over time, the Anunnaki's influence waned. The Igigi had rebelled, and now humanity, too, began to resist. The exact cause of their departure is shrouded in mystery. Some myths suggest they returned to the heavens, retreating to their celestial home. Others hint that their power diminished as humanity grew self-aware and questioned the divine yoke. But did they truly leave? Or do their shadows linger still, in the myths that refuse to die and the whispers that haunt our collective memory? The ziggurats crumble, and the tablets fade, but the fear remains. The Anunnaki's story is not merely a tale of gods and mortals, it is the story of humanity's origins and purpose. Born as slaves, molded from divine and mortal essence, we carry within us the echoes of their will. The gifts they gave, language, agriculture, law, are the foundations of our civilization, yet they are also the chains that bind us to their ancient designs. In the quiet hours of night, when the stars shine coldly above, one cannot help but wonder, if they came once, could they return? And if they do, will we greet them as gods, or confront them as equals who no longer fear the heavens? The stars hold secrets older than the earth, and across continents, tongues once unknown to each other told the same tale. Were they all dreamers, or were they witnesses? The story of the Anunnaki is not confined to the cracked clay tablets of Sumer. From the snow-capped Andes to the vast steppes of Central Asia, whispers of their presence persist. How can civilizations separated by oceans and epochs share fragments of the same myth? Coincidence falters as an explanation when the parallels draw too close for comfort. In the desert of Egypt, the pharaohs claimed descent from the gods, their lineage tracing back to the stars. The pyramid texts, some of the oldest religious writings in the world, speak of beings descending from the heavens to establish Ma'at, a cosmic order. The resemblance to the Anunnaki's arrival is undeniable. Ra, the sun god, and Thoth, the bringer of wisdom, echo the roles of Anu and Enki, rulers and teachers. Even the construction of the pyramids carries an eerie resonance with the ziggurats of Mesopotamia, as if humanity was taught to build monuments reaching toward the heavens, paying eternal homage to their celestial architects. Were these gods truly divine, or were they ancient manipulators, their power mistaken for omnipotence? In the sprawling epics of Mahabharata and Ramayana, the gods battle endlessly with the Asuras, celestial beings who resemble the Anunnaki in their dual role as creators and challengers. The Asuras, like the Igigi before them, rebel against their divine counterparts. Their gifts to humanity, fire, mythology, and the secrets of life, mirror the Anunnaki's forbidden knowledge. Could these Asuras and Anunnaki be distorted memories of the same entities, remembered differently across time and culture? The Vedas speak of Vimanas, flying chariots used by the gods, and wars waged in the skies with weapons of unimaginable power. Were these divine myths or garbled accounts of a forgotten reality? Far across the seas, in the Americas, similar tales emerge. The Inca spoke of Viracocha, a god who came from the heavens to teach humanity. The Maya revered Kukulkan, the feathered serpent, a deity who brought knowledge and civilization. The Aztecs' Quetzalcoatl, too, bears striking similarities, a wise and benevolent figure who eventually departs, promising to return. These gods, like the Anunnaki, are described as otherworldly, descending from above and altering the trajectory of human history. Were these disparate cultures gazing at the same visitors, describing them with the only vocabulary they had, the language of gods? In the Australian outback, the Wandjina are painted on ancient rock walls, figures with radiant halos and hollow, all-seeing eyes. Aboriginal lore describes them as sky beings who came to create the land and teach its people. Their withdrawal left behind not only art but a pervasive silence, as if they departed with a warning that mankind was not yet ready to know all. The Wandjina's depiction, eerily reminiscent of the elongated, luminous forms described in Mesopotamian carvings, suggests another cultural memory of the same phenomenon. Could these enigmatic beings have been part of the Anunnaki's far-reaching influence? The Greek myths of the Titans, elder gods who were overthrown by Zeus and his Olympian kin, echo the Anunnaki's own fractured pantheon. Prometheus, who defied Zeus to gift humanity with fire, mirrors Enki's defiance of the other Anunnaki to preserve humankind. Both tales speak of forbidden knowledge and divine punishment. The Greeks envisioned their gods as flawed yet powerful, rulers of human fate, but deeply entangled in mortal affairs. Like the Anunnaki, they walked the earth, shaping it, ruling it, and at times destroying it. Across continents and epochs, the same themes resurface, beings from the sky, bestowing knowledge, demanding worship, and exacting control. Why do these tales persist? The skeptics dismiss them as archetypal myths, born from humanity's shared need to explain the inexplicable. But what if they're not myths at all? What if they're distorted memories of a singular, ancient reality? The Sumerians were not alone in claiming descent from the stars. Their gods were not unique in demanding labor and worship. Their tales of rebellion and punishment, of creation and destruction, echo with unnerving similarity across the globe. How could so many cultures, separated by time and geography, speak of the same events, the same beings? The Anunnaki may be gone, but their legacy endures, in the myths, in the ruins, and perhaps in the blood of humanity itself. Did they implant more than just knowledge? Were they shaping not only civilizations but the very fabric of who we are? Some whisper that their return is inevitable, that the signs are already visible in the sky. The same stars that once bore their descent still shine down upon us, cold and indifferent. As humanity reaches for the heavens, building machines to traverse the void, are we retracing their steps? Or are we being drawn back to them, like moths to an ancient flame? Perhaps they wait, beyond sight, beyond sound, biding their time until we are once again ripe for harvest. And when they return, will we recognize them as our gods? Or will we finally see them for what they truly are? Look to the stars, and remember, we were never alone.